What's up guys, I am back after a couple of weeks. I have been away having surgery on my throat unfortunately, so it's left me without a voice for a couple of weeks, and then we've had Christmas, spending time with the family and everything, so it's time to get back to the trip reports, and I hope that you're going to enjoy what we have coming up this year. So today I'm going to be showing you how you can fly on a private jet on a scheduled route in Europe for less than £250. Sound too good to be true? Well, let me show you today how I went about doing this. Now there is an airline in Germany called Hahn Air, and they operate a fleet of Cessna Citation private jets, and they fly a scheduled route once a week on a Monday and a Friday between Dusseldorf in Germany down to Luxembourg and then straight back to Dusseldorf later on that day. It's a really random flight, it isn't marketed at all, and the only reason they actually operate this flight is because in order to keep their IATA certification, they need to operate at least 2 scheduled flights every week, and that is what they do. They operate them at the bare minimum. They send a private Cessna Citation down to Luxembourg and send it back. It's a very short flight, it's around about 50 minutes, and you can book this flight to fly on for less than £250. So what you're getting is a private jet flight between 2 cities in Europe for a really low price. And I'm going to show you what my experience was like when I flew on the Cessna Citation with Hahn Air. So I opted to start my flight today in Luxembourg and head up to Dusseldorf. Now the flight comes in from Dusseldorf to Luxembourg in the morning, and then after lunch it takes off back to Dusseldorf from Luxembourg. This basically gave me enough time to get into Luxembourg from Manchester via Zurich with Swissair. Now the flight is officially a Luxair flight, so you check in for the flight at the Luxair check-in desk here at Luxembourg International Airport. It didn't take long to get through the queue, and then I was able to head through security to get to the departure lounge. And there's the aircraft that brought me in from Zurich this morning. This is the Swiss Avro RJ100, and in the distance there you can see the Cessna Citation that's going to take me up to Dusseldorf. Now as this flight isn't marketed or advertised by anybody at all, then the chances are that you're going to be the only person on this flight, just as I was today, something that gave the gate agent a bit of a giggle before we boarded the flight.
That's a fast boarding.
Lovely, thank you very much. Boarding complete.
Boarding complete.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thanks. Now as this flight is a scheduled flight, it means that you have to board a bus to take you out to the awaiting aircraft, just like you would with any other commercial flight. And so I made my way down to the bus, feeling very lonely as the only passenger on this massive bus that was going to take me out to my flight. Thank you. Hello there. Boarding the aircraft is like no other flight I've ever taken. The captain welcomes you as you walk across to the aircraft. You board into the sumptuous luxury that I've only ever seen before in films. The safety briefing is done by the pilot, who comes to the back, sits on the seat next to you and gives you the full safety briefing of this flight.
Hello. Hello. You speak English?
Yes, I do, yes.
Very good.
Hi.
Hi. My name is Michael Phelps.
Hi,
I'm your
Michael.
captain today, together with as well Captain Thomas Hornby.
Yeah, okay.
Welcome to flight to Düsseldorf. Thank you. You want to Düsseldorf, right?
Yes, that's right.
We fly to Yeah. Cruising altitude will be 23,000 feet.
Okay.
Flight time around 30 minutes, depends on traffic.
Yeah.
Inbound to Düsseldorf. Yeah. Weather is okay. It's cloudy. It will be a little bit bumpy going through the clouds.
Yeah.
Shouldn't be a problem. Some information. We have 2 emergency exits. One is over here.
Yeah.
The other one in the back on the left.
Yeah. Okay.
In the uneventual case of losing cabin pressure, mask will be poised.
In no time at all, it was time to start the engines and get on our way to Dusseldorf.
have your attention, please? We will be taking off shortly. Please turn off all portable electronic devices, stow tables, secure luggage, and loose articles. Ensure your seat is in the upright and outboard position. Extend your headrest and fasten your lap belt and shoulder harness. Thank you.
So let's take a quick look at the route that we took today. Our very short flight today took us up to 23,000 feet as we flew north out of Luxembourg and across the Cologne area up towards Dusseldorf. Flight time today just around 30 minutes. Once the fasten seatbelt sign was turned off, I was able to get out of my seat and have a walk around the cabin, including visiting the flight deck, which the captain had invited me to do before we took off. It's so cool to be able to actually visit a flight deck during a commercial flight these days. It's something that you don't very often get to do in the current age of security, but in a private jet, anything is possible. I found the airshow map display really cool, but it was also pretty humorous. The flight today was so short that there was barely enough room to fit the animation of the aircraft on the map in between the takeoff and destination airports. Now, I didn't venture very far into the back of the aircraft, but apparently there's a little toilet in there that you can use as well on the flight, so you don't have to get caught short when you're flying in your uber luxury aircraft. This is my seat in the fully reclined position, and you'll see that it's not quite the lie flat bed that you get in some business class and first class cabins, but you have to remember this is a really short haul aircraft, just designed for short hops of a couple of hours or less. Looking around the seat, there are a few bits and pieces that allow you to connect in your laptop to the screen at the front and watch whatever you want to on it. I haven't seen a table set up like this even in first class cabins around the world. It's absolutely incredible. Look at the quality of that. The window blinds on the Citation are really cool. It's just like on Qatar Airways A350 that I flew. When you press the button and down comes the blind. Really cool, and I love playing with things like this on planes. Now, to book this flight, you can't actually book it on Hahn Air's website. They don't really have a website as such because they're not a scheduled airline apart from this little route that they operate. You can book it on Expedia or eDreams though, those two websites, and I'm sure there's probably some others as well. There's also a company in Germany called Air Event, and on their website you can actually request to book it for less than the £250 that I paid with Expedia. Now, they charge a rate of €199 to fly one way on this flight, which is around about £175. It's a little bit cheaper, but for me, I preferred the safety of knowing that I was going to be guaranteed to be booked on the flight by booking it through Expedia. And also, if you book it through Air Events, then they state very clearly that you're not eligible for any EU 261 flight compensation if your flight's cancelled or delayed or anything like that. It's just a case of you have to suck it up if your flight gets cancelled. So you get a little bit of extra protection through Expedia, plus it's all booked for you. You don't have to do anything other than click the buy button just like you would with any other commercial flight.
May I have your attention, please? We will be landing shortly. Please turn off all portable electronic devices, snow tables, secure luggage, and loose articles. Return your seat to the upright and outboard position. Extend your headrest and fasten your lap belt and shoulder harness. After landing, please remain in your seat with your lap belt and shoulder harness securely fastened until the aircraft has come to a complete stop in the parking area. Thank you.
After what seemed like no time at all in the air, we were landed at Dusseldorf Airport, and it was an absolutely incredible flight. To be able to fly on an aircraft of this sort of luxury, even just for less than an hour, was fantastic. After we'd landed, we headed across to the business jet parking area, which is a unique experience to say the least. It's not very often that you can land and park up on the private jet area of the airport.
Thank you.
Thank you. This was fantastic. Thank you very much. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Is your bus?
Yes. Absolutely.
Need to take a picture.
Photos taken, it was time to say goodbye to the wonderful crew on board this private jet and make my way over to the bus that would take me back to the terminal and back to reality. It's quite funny that the bus was probably about twice the size of the aircraft, and once again I was the only passenger on board. One final wave from the captain and my private jet experience was complete. And just like that, it was back to the hustle and bustle of an international airport with all the other passengers. It was really nice feeling like a celebrity for an hour at least, but it didn't take long to remind me that I'm actually not that special and I'm just another passenger on another scheduled commercial flight. Thanks for watching this week's trip report, guys. Take care, and I'll see you next time here on In-Flight Video.